All right, welcome. We're just getting ready for the esports show for this week, but it is back. It's episode 6, and this one is a high-performance episode. My name is Matthew Judge Brand. I'm joined on the desk again for this week by Terry Badger O'Neill and Lewis Tibor Gratz. I regrettably say his name because I'm getting sick of him.
Come on, it's Tibor time.
It is not. I'm never going there. But this week we've actually got some hard-hitting topics. There's a lot floating around the Twitterverse at the moment that we're not going to touch because it's just not relevant, not our place. But we do have some esports central topics coming up tonight. Lewis, some of them you're going to be pretty opinionated on, and I'm ready, gloves on, to box on with you on some of these.
Let's go. We'll get the arena out soon as well.
Yeah, we're getting ready for CGPL Champs. We're going to lower a cage down and we'll have the esports show debate battle where we'll just Street Fighter 5 style knock the crap out of each other, right?
It's going to be riveting. It really is. It's going to be fantastic.
For this week, I want to start with a discussion about what happens after play. It's something that has been rife throughout sports over history, where people ask, what do you do after playing? The career of a professional sports player is short-lived.
Yeah.
So what do you do after that? And for the most part, it's coaching or analysis or commentary. Similar thing happens in esports, and it's a similar discussion. What do players do when they retire? Perfect example is Rowe, who is part of the Smite scene. He was a professional player, international player as well, out of Australia for Direwolves, I believe, was the most recent team before his retirement. They were a fantastic roster before they all retired and left this industry, except Rowe, who stuck around, played his cards right, and actually got into casting. We've got a video of him here.
Today, and this is the set we've all been waiting for. Legacy versus Stiller, always been the two hot shots of this split, and I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. If you guys have been showing up.
And that was it. That was, it's a short clip, but it's a preview of what he's doing. He was down there at the ESL stage for PAX and was giving commentary over the Smite event that was there.
Yeah, so, well, it is the natural progression. I suppose to be called that clip, the Global Elite with the 2 silvers.
Yeah, that's it. the man with the in-game knowledge is there, the ex-player. He is the supreme caster because, of course, he was an ex-player. That's how the rankings go, right?
Exactly.
You need to be an ex-player to be a good caster.
It can help.
It does help. We're not going to have that argument now.
Oh, no.
Let's not go into that now.
But it's good to see there's a life after the like actual professional gaming.
Absolutely.
They can get into a lot of different fields. There's also content creation and things in there. It's, again, the open world of the internet.
It certainly is. Terry, your thoughts on after play?
I mean, life after the game, yeah, you've been a player, but you'll have a certain amount of people retire and move on, and everyone will want to get into casting. Do you think the market's going to get flooded with casters, and then you're going to have a competition to get that top spot in casting? So that's the problem.
Competition's always a good thing, though.
It is a good thing. It brings the best thing forward.
It breeds an environment where we need to get the best, which is good. That's healthy because it improves across the board. I think it comes, again, drawing the sports analogy. When you look at that, not every ex-player goes on to do coaching.
No.
In fact, most ex-players in traditional sport don't go on to do coaching because coaches have come up as water boys, as assistants, to then be assistant coach, to then be head coach of offense, depending on what sport you're talking about, to then be head coach, you know? So there's a progression line for coaches that sometimes players interject in and then ride the progression line to be a head coach. But I think we're going to get a similar thing in esports as well, where a lot of players, I feel, can't actually commentate because there is a skill to commentary in sport, in esports, across the board, that you need to be able to present well. And not everybody has that innate ability in sport, just like they do in esports.
I can't really disagree with that at all.
I think the natural progression will happen just like in sports.
Yep.
In the same field of esports, I don't think there'll be anything different. There'll be specialised commentators, and there'll be people who come in as it'll be both.
Yeah.
It'll be both, always the same as sport, but it's good to see people getting those positions as well, because you do have, like, say, the NFL. There's a high turnover of players. I mean, the average is 3 years of play in the NFL. Because body's already run through college and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you've got that, and then you've got such a high turnover, and so many people want to do it, that then there's not actually enough media positions and not enough content positions out there. So a lot of them then go broke.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's not enough positions in the NFL for people that have the skill set suited to progress from play to then into those media positions, let alone the fact that there is a swath of players out there that are turning over.
Correct. Plus you need that player profile as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
You need to be able to bring something as a player. You can't just be a no-named pro player. They do exist in sport,
Yeah.
you know, where they aren't a star player. That star profile is a big thing to bring to commentary in sports.
Yeah.
Similar thing in esports as well. But there's other people that have done it in the past. Tim Wendell, Carbon, is a perfect example. He was captain of the LoL team for Legacy Esports for so long, played for them for ages,
Yeah.
and then just recently announced his retirement to be the head of esports for Adelaide Football Club and their stuff with Legacy.
Yeah,
So
we'll get onto their high performance stuff later.
no, that's it. More high performance from Adelaide later on the show. But at the end of the day, we just want to say well done to Ro. It's been a pretty seamless transition. He did quite well at the ESL stage at PAX from what we saw, and it's good to see another player thinking about what happens after they finish playing the game competitively. So good work.
And also an example of don't burn your bridges.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be very careful because
Unless you want to burn your bridges, then just go nuts.
they're
it's
light
enjoyable.
of fire.
It is
So we
really-
can report on it.
It is so enjoyable to watch. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible, but
Yeah, we don't
I mean,
endorse
come on.
being that unprofessional, but
Yeah.
God,
If you
it's
want
good.
to, go ahead and do it.
Twitter self-writes this show.
just be aware. Just be aware that it can really backfire.
It really can. Talking, well, not so much about backfiring, but about repercussions to earlier decisions. In this next story, Epsilon Esports, there's been a lot going on with this. Lewis, you followed this a lot closer than I have this week. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so this is pretty much going to be the TLDR, considering there's multiple 30-plus minute videos out there on it.
Yes.
Basically, there's an esports organisation out there in the UK that contracted a player. He was doing quite well. They said, we'll give you $2,000 a month. He's like, I'm in. Okay, about a 2-year contract.
Yep.
So across the board, he would have made about $48,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? They benched him.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens. Apparently not for underperformance either. There's a lot of uproar about him being benched in the first place.
Okay.
However, now they only pay him $700. They pay him $700 a month instead. It is lower.
So it's lower than his
Yeah.
playing contract.
Yeah, it's
okay, cool.
lower. And then he's not allowed to go look for another team. The buyout for the contract is £100,000.
Pound.
English
As in
pound.
like British pound.
Pounds.
Not US
That's-
dollars, not...
Well, he's in the UK. It's a UK org.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Unless I've looked at it
Unless we've
wrong,
missed some conversion there.
even if it's $100,000.
Even if it's 100,000 US, regardless,
Wow.
that's a large sum.
That's 100,000, and that's double what he could have made out of the contract.
Over
Yeah.
double, yeah.
The thing is, why do they bench
Jeez.
him though? That's what I want to know. Like, you just don't get benched for no reason.
There is a lot of questioning.
Yeah, a lot of...
I mean,
I've seen a lot of the... So, although I hadn't followed the whole storyline, it was... I couldn't miss it on Twitter with
No,
all
you
this
can't.
stuff. And we've got, I mean, even Henry G getting involved here, calling the money-hungry snakes over at Epsilon, destroying the career of a promising young talent. If we can learn anything from this, when given your first contract, reach out to the most experienced peers and ask if they're basically lying or trying to fuck you. Is that there? Sad. I even have to say that. So like, this is a point that I've talked about on this show.
yes.
Read your contract, have a
Read
look.
your contract.
I'm pretty sure the first 3 episodes were dedicated just to you talking about contracts.
Pretty much, because it was 3 weeks in a row. Locally, we had issues about contracts. So, one, it's not hard to reach out. That was my point back then. I'm not going to rehash that too much.
And again, this was the
But-
excitedness we talked about.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
been working for a long time to get onto a team.
Yes.
Team's come along, said, here's some money you can make out of it. And he's jumped out of it. He was doing really well on the team as well. Got benched. But the really malicious thing for me is they're still paying him to not use him just so he's locked in contract hell.
Yes, that's my thing. And there
Yeah.
is, look, I'm not debating Epsilon's legal right to do so.
No,
They are 100% without seeing their contract, as long as he is actually contracted to the org, they're allowed to bench him, assuming all of that is above board,
Yeah.
then locking him in with a $100,000 buyout and paying him to still be on the bench, completely legally okay.
Yeah.
Assuming that there is nothing actually wrong, they haven't done any bad conduct there, they haven't broken contract. It's the ethical dilemma we're talking about here, where if you're not using a player, you're not looking to use a player, why hold them on? And further, the buyout clause. It's something that I've been looking at very closely over the last couple of weeks at work. in these buyout clauses. Why have a $100,000 buyout clause on this person? What metric have they used to actually judge that?
No, and saying that he's worth $100,000 when you're only going to pay him $50,000, it doesn't logically make sense.
No, because you'd think that as an organisation, you would actually sit down and go, okay, we're paying him X amount over this contract term. We also feel that this player has X star quality or star power. They're a high-performing player, so that's why they're valued at a little higher. That makes sense
They've
to
got
me.
social media
And you can
following.
justify that. But you would also be justifying that in their salary. The salary, to an extent, is reflective of what the buyout should be. If you're willing to pay them X amount, you should be willing to hold them in for X amount as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we hadn't really heard anything from Epsilon about why he was benched. That's the main thing that I want to hear is why he was benched, if it was a breach of contract.
They still don't have to say that, though.
They don't have to, but at the same time, it might be in their best interest to say, look, he might have breached a health and well-being policy for drug use or something like that. So it could be
That's
a
fair
range
enough.
of issues. So, and as far as the buyout is, like you're right, it could be the fact he could bring in more endorsements to the team, star power, guest speaking roles and things like that. So they can charge whatever they want. So it's just an ethical thing that we're debating here.
Absolutely. But it's one of those things that I feel personally is going to evolve over the course of esports globally as well. Not just locally. It's something that we've talked about for the local region that, you know, orgs arbitrarily slap a 10 grand buyout on someone's contract. But as things evolve globally, I think we are going to see people go, actually, you know what? We should probably think about these buyout clauses because a buyout clause is there to protect our vested interests in this player.
Yeah.
But it's not there to be an arbitrary lock on a contract.
Yeah, the highlight from sport I'd like to use here is baseball. Teams actually pay the contracts of their players, but because they don't want them on their team anymore, they want to trade them, they'll send them to another team. So let's say the Dodgers wants an Oakland A's player.
Okay.
So they'll go to the A's and they'll go, we want that player, we'll pay his salary, and we'll pay him more as well, and we'll give you a cash bonus, and you can have our player, and we'll pay his salary.
So basically,
still
we
on the
want your
contracts.
player, we'll give you one of ours,
Yep.
we'll pay the club a bonus in cash
Yep.
to basically lease your player. So the club's then turning around going, cool, we still own that player, but he's playing on that team, we get some cash, we get a replacement
Well,
player,
no,
and we don't have to pay for this
He
player.
becomes owned by that team.
Oh, he does become owned.
But they pay his contract. They pay his wage.
And they pay,
So
they
Oakland-
pay for the
yeah.
player they send.
Yes, so Oakland has the player. They
Wow.
own the player.
Whoa, that
but
sound-
Generally, like they'll pay like half the contract or something, but in extreme cases it can be more. But yeah, they'll actually still pay that player.
Pay the replacement player that they send over.
Yeah.
So give us one, and we'll send you a player that you barely pay for. That's one hell of a deal.
Yeah, so there's things like that. So the player can still play.
Yeah.
But
Because at the
that's
end of the
also to get
day,
advantageous deals and whatnot.
Yes.
But like, there's so many things that could happen. And like, say what then? If they were roster locked to say having 6 on like in leagues and whatnot, right? Then they'd actually have to take him out there because they'd need a sub, all that kind of thing. So they could and potentially should be hindering themselves by having an inactive sub.
jeez. And so at the end of the day, it's a massive mess. And this is something, again, there's not much more we can say about this. It's a rehash point that, one, players need to read and fully understand their contracts. They need to get someone to read through it for them. If they don't understand, get a professional as well. Someone that actually knows what they're talking about to read through it for you. And at the end of the day, it's the roundtable discussion we keep having about ethics with these orgs.
Yep, and players getting excited to sign because he can't play. He's actually retired until the end of 2018 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone back to school to finish his high school diploma or go back to university or college, you were saying.
Something like that. But you can still do that as well. But
Yeah.
it's
At least he's not sitting
it's not great. And it's like if he's big enough for Henry G to come on tweeting about it, that does say something.
Absolutely. Epsilon are quite a big org, and this is something at the top end level of Counter-Strike in that region. So, okay, I think it's something that we'll keep an eye on. Let's see if Epsilon gives some updates as well, because it'd be great to get some transparency from their end publicly. But other than that, there's not much more we can say, but we do wish the player involved all the best.
Yeah,
And hopefully
we
things
can't-
work
Yeah,
smart
and this
enough.
isn't an isolated thing. This is just one that went public. So this
Yeah.
does happen quite a bit.
It certainly does. Tibor, another one. You're going to be fired up all stream tonight
I think
because
so.
this one for you is a big issue. And this one's talking about League of Legends. Now, Terry is a League big fan.
Yeah.
And we're talking now about what's gone on with the LoL Worlds, because of course, Worlds Finals just finished. SKT
Yep.
did not win this year. It
Rip
was
Faker.
Samsung Galaxy.
Poor
and
Faker.
a clean sweep, 3-0.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk results, we're here to talk statistics.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can talk statistics.
So, there's been a lot of, and you highlighted this to me, of course I saw it myself on the internet, and for those of you that aren't aware, the League of Legends World Finals were played out recently. It's a massive event. It was actually held at the Bird's Nest Stadium over in China.
Beijing.
Beijing, yeah. So
The Olympic Stadium.
The Olympic Stadium. It was packed.
Yeah.
There have been photos surfacing of a
amazing.
packed stadium full of spectators there to watch League of Legends.
With two
How
little
good was
desks.
that CGI dragon?
That was so cool. Like, I will give.
It was next level production.
I will
across the
give
whole-
them. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
massive credit. Like, it was a spectacle.
Yeah.
And Worlds has been a spectacle, improving year after year.
Yep.
I mean, it was a spectacle when Faker did a roll. Like, he did a somersault, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" And this year they step it up with a CGI dragon. So
Yeah.
And even the concert beforehand.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
say that was actually really, really good.
And in my
Yeah.
opinion, Riot with League has done very well since they got Imagine Dragons to write the
Yep.
Warriors song.
oh,
Yep.
that's those songs.
That
Which is-
was amazing, and it's been
It's been
improving
used
since then.
Yeah, constantly that song as well.
Yeah.
It is-
For everyone.
They get the top views for a reason.
But it's the skew of those views and the way that it's representing esports that we want to cover. Because this is not esports. This is esport.
One.
Singular. It is
Yes.
League of Legends. We're not
Yes.
talking about, although Counter-Strike does fill stadiums,
It does.
this
And
isn't
in-
Rocket League.
In brilliant ways, like
Yes.
ESL ones and majors and
That's
like,
right. Cologne,
again,
Katowice, all of them. They're
very
great.
nice. Even IEM Sydney, that was
Yes.
a phenomenal.
We were there. It was great.
Yeah.
But it's not esports. We don't have a picture of a packed NBA stadium and go, this is sport.
With a NFL commentator saying this is sport.
That's right. We don't do that because it's basketball. It's not football. It's not American football or Aussie rules football. We wouldn't do the same thing by taking a picture of Adelaide Oval and going, this is sports. It's League of Legends. And people need to be aware of this.
Yeah.
Yes, League of Legends World Finals is bloody amazing.
And it's where every esport would like to be.
But
Yeah.
they're not there right now.
No.
You're not going to... Rocket League, RLCS is a big thing.
Rocket
but it
League's
is
the-
not going
yeah.
to fill a football stadium.
And there's
No.
another rant for me. Like, Rocket League's another one where it's like, it's RLCS or nothing. Like, there's the big hype train about Rocket League as a new esports, and it literally is RLCS, then there's a couple, like, decent Gfinity, like Gfinity
Yeah,
in...
Gfinity does a lot with Rocket League.
Yeah, and they do a really good job as well. There was the NBC one.
Yep.
But,
there
like-
is collegiate in the US as well.
Yeah, but then again, that's like that's
No,
them
you don't
getting
talk
to
about
the-
that.
I've got no idea about that. But it's like it has to be like sort of more across the board. Or with League of Legends, they can just
move
say,
this.
"Look, this is us. This is across the board because we have rights to
Yeah,
this
just
every-
hold on,
Chris.
just
Hang on.
just
let me shelter this from
please,
Lewis's ranting arms.
We need to, yeah.
Mr. Miyagi.
I'm literally-
cut on,
I'm
cut
s-
off.
That's it. But you can't go around saying like, "This is now esports" when it was
Yeah.
one event for a different esport.
That's
Yeah.
right. Because at the end of the day, and like, don't get us wrong, esports has gained a lot of traction.
Yeah.
It is steamrolling through. That is undeniable. You're getting massive brands investing. Like, Counterlogic Gaming, all right? They've been part of the Madison Square Company for
Yeah.
ages, right? That's not even new.
No.
But that is a massive name. If you don't understand who the Madison Square Garden Company are, Madison Square Garden, as in the massive, one of the best performance places in the world, they own that.
It's
And
got
they
its
own a
own
whole
street, I'm
heap
pretty
of-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they own a whole heap of other massive companies as well. Like, investment in esports isn't a new thing. It's just
No.
sped up lately.
Yeah.
But we've got to be careful because we don't want to be burning investors.
No,
Yeah.
We
well,
don't want to be inflating the
Yeah.
market presence of
Yeah.
esports without actually having the backing to get a return on investment, especially here. We
Yeah.
do not have the sophistication or the money in Australia for everybody to be thinking that, oh my God, if I get an esports team at the top 8 of Australian esports clubs, they're going to be getting us massive returns on investment like Counterlogic Gaming, like literally any org that owns an Overwatch League spot.
Yeah. I mean, I only heard about the Madison Square group like today when I was researching the story. They've done it very quietly for a very long time. And you're right. I mean, over in England, Red Bull are opening up a massive centre actually for esports, for casting specializations, tournaments, everything. They're just going full hog, and they've got no other investments, just them.
Yeah.
So it's basically their cash they're going to
Red
burn.
Bull. They have
That is
money
Red
to throw on a pit
Yeah.
and set it on.
Red Bull's
Like,
Yeah.
normally Red Bull sponsorship survey is: are you potentially going to die? Is it extreme? Have some Red Bull.
Have some Red Bull,
So,
yeah.
like, them going deep in esports isn't surprising,
Yeah.
and we know they've been around for ages. But it's still a smart, calculated choice. The UK scene does have a lot going on there. Not saying we don't hear, don't misquote me, bloody hell Twitter, but we still need to be cautious in our approach.
Yeah, and we talked about it before with non-endemic sponsors getting burnt in that kind of manner. But the person who summed it up for me the best is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. They bought into a team or bought out a team.
Yeah.
And they said specifically, we don't know how big esports is going to be. Right now, it's not where we want to be. It's not where we want to be to make a profit, even in NA. But we don't think we can afford to miss the opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And there are smart business people out there who are looking at esports and going, it's a little bit of FOMO. We don't want to be left out when esports blows up and all of a sudden becomes a massive gold mine. So we want to get in now
Yeah.
and meter that investment and go, okay, it's going to cost us this much here, but we predict that with market knowledge, it's going to be, an increase here. It's less of a loss next year. Maybe our third year of investment is a break even, and then our fourth is a profit.
Yeah.
Speaking very generally there, please don't invest in esports and think you're going to make money in 4 years. There are people out there that are smart enough to think about it that way,
Yeah.
and those
Yeah.
people are the people we need to keep investing in esports.
And again, but it is a nice area to advertise to because
Absolutely.
it's where people like to spend their disposable income, especially for endemic sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a lot of people to see your stuff in an age bracket of 18 to 35 with a large audience, then esports is the way to go, especially when you
Yeah.
consider things. I mean, this is going in a conversation we don't have time for, but when you consider things like Netflix and Stan and Spotify and all your on-demand streaming services, esports is one of the only things where advertising actually reaches people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep it in mind, and if you're an investor that's watching the show and you're thinking about throwing millions of dollars into League of Legends, maybe hold off.
Just wait. Just wait on that.
Just send it here.
Just send it here.
Yeah, just send it right here.
Yeah.
There.
We'll get rid of the V
There.
There's
cans
this
for our
wonderful
memes.
thing here called my pocket, and it goes in there. On the topic of League of Legends, though, Terry, this is something you and I have been having discussions about
Okay.
frequently, about the way NALCS is moving into its franchising and Immortals.
That's the wrong. No, it's not NALCS. We talked about this. What is it now?
It is the NBA, MLB,
NFL,
NFL,
NALCS. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Yeah, because of all the investing teams that are getting slots in the
Yeah.
franchise model. Now, one big debate that happened over Twitter was regarding Immortals. We talked about Immortals previously on the show. They're
Yeah.
an esports organisation in North America that have high-ranking teams across titles. We talked previously on the show about their CSGO team and issues they had with that roster. Now we're talking about the LoL side, and unfortunately, they've been counted out of the NALCS.
Yeah.
They've been a staple of the NALCS for some time. They've got quite a good fan base and following.
They're a world's team.
They are
They
a
are a
world
world's
team.
team. Yeah,
And
100%.
Riot has turned around and said,
I'm sorry.
no, you don't get an NALCS spot.
Even though you're doing
Thanks for
really,
being here for so
you're doing
many
really, really
years."
well for us, but sorry, your bank account isn't fat enough.
That's it. Your
Take
ticket's
your
not big enough.
take your team and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also question marks within the Overwatch league with how much investment they've got tied up there because they had to disclose that too.
They did.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the thing. League's like, well, you've thrown a whole heap of money at Overwatch. Do you really care about League of Legends?
Yeah.
That debate is out of, we're not talking about that right
That's
now.
another show. That's a whole
That's
nother
right.
They've got
thing.
Riot have more information than us, is what we're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what we do want to talk about is looking at this LCS franchising coming out in Riot. They are giving NBA and NFL teams
And
and MLB teams now
Everyone.
slots in this that are being purchased.
Yeah.
There are teams like CLG that still have a slot.
TSM, Cloud9.
Yes.
Those two. But it makes sense to have like your sort of legacy teams, I suppose. Like obviously TSM and Cloud9, they've been around for, I don't know, almost season 2.
Yeah.
So it makes
Staple
sense that they
names.
give them pretty much just a slot straight away, keeps a lot of people happy, but it just, for me, I heard this and it just felt like a massive cash grab. Like almost like Riot's a little bit strapped for cash, and they're like, yeah, sure, give us $5 million up front, and then $5 million. I think it was the Houston Rockets, $5 million up front, then another $5 million over a couple, 3 or 4 years. So it's a $10 million
Just for the
slot.
slot.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
and you got what, 6 other teams doing that? That's a good revenue for a little while, at
Yeah.
least at NA.
Lewis, you and I, not on the show, but previously, have talked about this franchise. And looking, when they first announced the NALCS franchise, we agreed it's bloody amazing.
It looked very
The
nice.
plan is great. Revenue share model is good because the clubs actually get revenue share. It's not prize pooling with the clubs taking a percentage of prize pool. It's actually cool. We have this revenue that's generated from the NALCS.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
get a portion of it,
Yep.
and if your team's doing better or generating more marketing and more revenue sales or whatever, you get a bigger slice of the cake because you made the cake bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the skins, the player icons,
Yeah.
those kind of things as well.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, like, okay, the system itself was cool,
Yeah.
and we supported it. But this is the thing we feared.
Yeah.
In that Riot would then sell out these franchise slots to massive companies,
Mm-hmm.
and it would play out. We don't want it to play out like Overwatch League
Yeah,
has.
all it does is scare everyone else from sort of backing the sort of tier 2 team, like even lower tier 1 teams and the tier 2 teams and even tier 3, because they can be gone in an instant
Yep.
through no fault of their own.
Yeah.
That's right, and that's a big concern. We don't want that to happen. There's actually a friend of mine, Chopsky, on Twitter. He is a mainstay of esports, and I love his opinion on almost everything. And we've actually got an image we're going to bring up on screen for you of Chopsky. He wrote an article on this, posted it up, and was talking about
Immortals.
Immortals, but not just that, League of Legends in general, and investing in League of Legends right now. And here it is, cool.
Oh, good lord.
So I'm gonna pull it up here so we can see it, boys. So it's a little closer for us. But what his article says: promotion and relegation meant that consistent bad performance could result in devaluing your investment. That's an unsound risk-reward model for some investors, and in fairness, that's a legitimate concern. We've all spoken about longevity and wanting to secure the future of LoL esports, perhaps for generations to come. And when building anything new, something old usually has to be bulldozed. I agree with that. But Chopsy says, if I were investing in LoL right now, I'd be terrified. I would be absolutely scared shitless that Riot may potentially decide I was out and destroy everything I'd created with no recourse. It is deeply ironic that this attempt to bring trust and faith to NALCS investment has instead displayed the opposite. So Chopsky's talking exactly on your point here, in that this is going to make it hard for organisations to invest in secondary teams
Yeah.
because maybe they're not going to get a spot in an ALCS. Even though, like your Immortals, we've been there for years. We've
And
done
went to
so
Worlds this
well.
year. This year.
Done so well,
Yep.
perform well, have great branding and a great follower base.
Yep.
You could be counted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that.
And but I did get. I got you a present. I got you a meme photo to wrap this segment up. This is the headstone for Immortals, which has
Rest
been
in
floated
pepperoni.
around, and it is rest in peace. 2015 to 2017, killed by a falling franchise.
Didn't even really, just sort of like, it's like Riot put one of their employees behind them and then pushed them over.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Yeah.
we're not going to kill you, but we will.
If,
Yeah,
yes. Technically, we won't kill you. The water will drown you. So that's
Yeah.
what's killing
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
The
it's
fall
just, the
isn't
fall.
gonna kill you.
It's
Stand behind-
the impact.
Yeah, because if you
Yeah.
push someone, they're not going to fall over. But if you get your mate to stand behind their
Yeah,
leg,
just stand behind the legs, crouch over, do the whole. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. In the end, we wish Immortals all the best, and I'm just hoping that Riot takes care of the NALCS. That's all
Yeah.
I want.
Well, you know what's
because
coming after
it's
this.
looked so good that this whole franchise model, I've been in support of it, and so have a lot of other people. Just please don't horribly prove me wrong by screwing this up. Like that's, I want things to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I think that they will get there. I mean, they aren't bringing in just unproven scrubs with, or even dodgy people with money.
That's right.
These are world-class teams that are.
Yeah.
With legitimate branding,
At the-
legitimate, good-looking books, I imagine, on the finance end.
You'd think. Well, Dallas Cowboys are the richest sporting team in the world. They are
Yes.
worth the most out of anyone. Even those big EU sporting teams like Barcelona.
Yeah.
They are the biggest.
Yeah,
Bloody.
they're massive. Because it's the Cowboys. Like, you just
That is
can't
true.
argue with rednecks, shotguns, and
America's
and
team.
beer. Yeah, that's
America's
right.
team.
America's team. America's
So,
team.
look, at the end of the day, hopefully it pans out, and we'll keep posted on that and give you any more details as things come up. But, as mentioned, we're scared of NALCS turning into an Overwatch league, and that's going to be a trigger for a lot of people that potentially watch this live stream, watch the VOD or the podcast, because they don't like when we do Overwatch things, because we made a mistake.
Well,
But this opinion...
No, you two made a mistake. I don't speak on Overwatch. I just sit in my corner and play Paladins.
Yeah. We made a couple of mistakes.
We have, and we'll come out and admit that. This one's an opinion piece here.
Yeah,
that we want to do.
This is completely different. And I have been, I sort of turned the corner here. I was like, okay, now this really could work with the updates they were saying. But I was under the impression that I was out for World Cup, and it wasn't. And it's still, the spectator was still horrible.
So, talking about, we've seen on Twitter the Overwatch World League, which is, or Overwatch League, I should say, global league, of course, with 6 American teams, because that's how we do things globally. But global league with franchise slots offered up, a lot of major investment went in. Shaquille O'Neal's team, NRG, got massive investment. They went and had an extra round of investment, including like J-Lo, to get extra money in support of Overwatch League to fund the spot and fund these teams, right? Okay, that's cool. There's a lot of money going around, a lot of hype. T-Ball's a little bit salty though. And it's because we saw on Twitter there was a lot of posts coming out from people we know and trust and love as well. Monte Cristo, Ubershouts as well, were coming out saying that, look, Overwatch spectator client updates are coming. And we thought, heck yeah, they're going to be here for World Cup. World Cup will look schmick.
I don't remember if they ever specifically said, but I was led to think that they were.
Yeah, like, it wasn't going, they'll be here, but it was kind of like they're coming, it's looking good for really soon.
New things in World Cup. Like, I was thinking they were going to have the mini map. I was thinking that. So I opened the stream and I was just depressed. And that threw me right off to start with.
So it's, for those of you that aren't aware, spectator client in Overwatch is one of the hottest debated topics when it comes to Overwatch, other than, the Overwatch League and franchise. Because as a spectator, even with really good observers, even watching Blizzard, like world-class observing, as a non-endemic to Overwatch, it is hard to watch. It is like watching League of Legends.
Like, I play it quite consistently, just for fun.
Yeah.
And I've got no idea what's going on. And even those the
skins.
the team skins to
Yeah.
separate
Cool.
the players, beautiful. And I do like that touch. More esports should do that. CSGO should even do that. And
Yes.
I would like that.
Yes,
And Rocket
excellent.
League and everything.
Just everyone. Everyone do all the things at once.
Exactly. Just copy.
Just
Copy
do what
everyone's
T-Ball
own
wants.
work. It's brilliant.
Just change it a little bit.
But I still couldn't work out what was going on.
No. And so that's the thing, like, we want this to improve. And we don't want to be perceived as people that sit behind a desk in Australia looking at esports and going, it's crap. Like, no, we want the best for things here.
I've been tweeting out the positive stuff. I've actually been really.
You
positive
turned
about
one
it.
hell of a leaf on Overwatch.
I really think it's going to work. I love the brandings that the teams are doing. Although
Even Excelsior?
no, the Excelsior.
That's,
sure?
That's the one that looks like a Target cushion.
No. Look, there.
No? You
No,
don't think
that
so? You
wasn't-
haven't walked into Target, seen a navy blue and lighter blue cushion with a hex cross pattern, gone, you know what, that'd look great as an Overwatch team logo?
That's pretty much where they got all their logos from, is Target.
No.
Because I did.
I
definitely did.
must have skipped over that logo.
Okay, yeah.
But,
need to work on your marketing.
No, it was the Houston
Outlaws.
that were a bit confused by their own branding as well. That was funny.
That was funny. For those playing at home that aren't aware, what they do?
They put up a video, so they're called the Outlaws, and they put up a nice video, beautifully rendered, very nice piece of animation, saying the new sheriff's in town.
For those of you that still don't get it,
Outlaws,
they're called
sheriff.
Outlaws,
Outlaws, sheriff.
and they say they're the sheriff in town.
Lawbreakers, lawmen.
Yes, thank you.
Not same.
No.
Not same. No.
No, it's not even one of those things that it's like,
Good job.
it's the same but different.
It's
they're
same
just
but different.
Not the same.
No. One of these things is not like the other.
And they staunchly defended that they were.
Yeah, they staunchly defended it, and it's just like, just stop.
Just stop.
Oh, it's going on the Wild West theme, and it's like, you missed the mark, boys.
No.
Regardless of those shortcomings, We really think it could be a
I
great
think it's
thing.
gonna, once the Spectate is fully out. So I was just a little bit salty because I thought it was going to be out,
You were disappointed.
and I wasn't. I was disappointed because I've been yes, Overwatch, but it's actually going to be really awesome now, and it just wasn't there yet.
No.
So still, I'm going to have to wait until this Overwatch League comes.
But we have positivity. We want this to be awesome, and I think it will be. They've
I
got
think-
world-class talent that is some of my favourite commentators across titles that are coming in for
I think
Overwatch
Uber
League.
is my favourite esports commentator, just across the board.
Me too. Close second for me is Monte Cristo. I've loved Monty
Yeah.
since his League of Legends
And
days.
they're both working together on this, so that's going to be incredible.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just, I really want to see this work because, and they are doing a great job. We wanted information, but their method, it's not going to be that we get information. It's just going to be they're going to roll it out slowly. They're working behind the scenes really, really hard. Like there are tons of people
Yeah.
working on this.
Yeah.
They're going to release it slowly. They're going to do it right, and it's going to come out looking smick.
It's just we're not used to waiting for really polished, slow releases for things in esports. We're used to
No, it's like
push
rush,
out
rush,
something
rush, rush.
and then holy crap, let's patch it.
You have to remember it's Blizzard.
Yeah,
That's how they do things.
literally.
Just nice and slow and polished,
And
and
yes,
eventually
okay.
you'll get there and go, oh, it's shiny. Look at that. They got it right after 6 years.
Finally, glad they got it
Woo!
right. But I mean, and looking at chat here as well, Nolski's in here, and he's saying, you know, it's despite branding and branding issues and laughing at me thinking that they're Target pillows, it's
Laughing
it
with
will
you.
be a good thing. And
It will be.
No,
and they
I
can
think
generate so
standard
much hype
Blizzard.
around teams, around matchups, and that's what I love. Like, I was watching the World Series, and my favourite thing about that was the before the Game 7 and after Game 7.
World Series of baseball.
That's baseball.
Yeah,
It's with the
because
stick
it's
and the Americans.
World. I'll call it the full classic then. We'll go with the secondary. title.
Okay.
But the pre hype and after the game, like watching the celebrations, that's like the best bit for me when it's not my team in it.
Yeah.
Love watching the
Because
celebrations.
how often is your team in there, Lewis?
They're the Cardinals, so all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Lewis.
Yeah, but that's my favorite bit. Sometimes it's not even the actual esport. So, like, say Overwatch, where like I struggle to watch it, and say even with the new stuff, I may struggle to watch it. But if the start and the end is awesome, I'm going to be all over it.
That was actually, this is going back in a little bit of judge history here. My home ec teacher back in high school, right?
Yes.
Always said that if the entree and dessert for a meal are amazing, you can be forgiven on some of the middle. And that's held pretty true. The middle can't be horrible.
Yeah.
But if it's a solid 6 in the middle and a 10 out of 10 either side, you're all good.
You're
It'll be a
fine.
memorable meal.
Yep.
I feel the same about Overwatch League in that even if spectating it isn't amazing, if it comes up to a stage like League of Legends where you can understand what's going on to an extent,
I don't understand League of Legends.
You don't.
I still enjoyed Worlds.
yes.
I watched
And that's
like
the
all the
point.
quarters, all the semis, just because I enjoyed, like, even looking at the crowd. Just
Yeah.
like I got the basics. I don't
And
know what
it's
the
that
characters
stuff
do.
that we know with 99% certainty that Blizzard are going to do right. Moving
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
it will be a polished product when it comes up, and we look forward to that.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Maybe.
And then they can have
Please.
some more of my money.
Yeah, and we'll...
Once it's finished.
Yes.
I'm sick of
You
buying
want
games
a
in
lot of
beta.
money.
Are too much money.
One thing, moving on to high-performance esports,
Ooh.
we are talking
Oh, yes.
about the Adelaide Football Club developing an esports performance centre here in Adelaide. So, for those of you that aren't aware, a little bit of backstory here. Adelaide Football Club, earlier this year, purchased Legacy Esports. They bought in by buying an esports club. You beauty, we're all for that. We're here in Adelaide and we love both of them. That's cool. And what they've said they wanted to do, what Adelaide Football Club said throughout the whole time that they've had Legacy, is that they want to be improving the back end with Adelaide Football wow, good pronunciation, Judge, their experience, their back end, their knowledge on how to run a sporting franchise. And that's something that we've always stood by because we've always said that Legacy's got great branding. They've, haven't always had top performing teams
Yeah.
in terms of, top 2.
Yeah, but they're professional.
But they are a very professional, both in definition of the word, they play pro, they're paid to play, they do very well,
There's no
and they play in the
scandals.
highest echelon
Yeah.
of esports as well. With
No scandals. There's no hateful.
So, and we've always thought that, Adelaide Football Club have the sophistication to level up this back end.
Yeah.
This is a big move. So that back end backstory in your brain, what the Adelaide Football Club have come out and said they're doing, we've actually got an image from their official website post that we can show you here. So they have said they're building this high performance centre at the West Lakes headquarters. The Adelaide Football Club is looking to establish an esports high-performance centre at its West Lakes HQ. Head of esports at Legacy, Tim Wendell, that's Carbon we mentioned before, said, "I'm excited to provide another resource for the players to use to push themselves. A high-performance facility will be a new platform for players to succeed from." They also spoke to the business manager for Legacy Esports, Michael Carmody, who was also enthusiastic. Choice to partner with the AFC was always about performance and providing the best platform for our players to succeed. Having a football club willing to make actual real estate available to develop players and esports generally is exactly the future we envisioned for this partnership. The article goes on further, and I'm sure on the VOD we'll have a link as well in the YouTube description about where you can read more. A simple Google search as well will provide it. That's on the Legacy website, the Legacy Esports website. So what they're planning to do, and the article goes on a little bit longer as well, didn't want to fit it all on a screenshot because we wouldn't be able to read it. But they're developing a centre at the Adelaide Football Club headquarters, which is in West Lakes, or northwestern suburb of Adelaide here, at Amy Stadium, which is the old football stadium they used to play AFL games at here in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Adelaide Crows got the HQ there. They're building within that, we assume, because they own up, their HQ is quite sizable. They're going to build an esports centre, which isn't just going to be 10 computers sitting in a room for LAN. Like,
Yes.
we assume they're going in with this. Nigel Smart later on in the article said, like, it's going to be good because they're going to have access to our nutritionists, to our exercise physiologists. Like, everything that's in-house for Adelaide Football Club at the HQ is now going to be available to the players while they're there boot camping. Because in my mind, that's what I see this for, is that Legacy have done really well in a season of League of Legends, they're going to OPL finals, fly them to Adelaide, get them out of the Legacy house for a little bit, fly into Adelaide, put them in the Performance HQ for the time leading between end of season and final, and get them nutritioned up.
All I can think about is
God.
Matt CD get now athletically trained, and how much more his ego will be boosted about being an athlete.
Oh,
Matt
no.
CD, there's a story for AEM, Australian Esports Masters, Counter-Strike LAN,
Oh, God.
Season 2, was on a plane with Tim Dunn, Brainstorm,
Brainstorm.
CSGO caster. And they're coming into Adelaide from Sydney on the same flight, sitting next to each other.
Oh, God.
And as they land, the pilot, of course, because it was the, what was it, prelim final?
It was a little something like Go Crows.
Yeah, but it was that weekend. It was like AFL prelim final or something.
AFL finals where Crows were still in it.
And it was here in Adelaide. That's why a lot of people were coming over and flights were hella expensive. And the pilot's going, you know, if you're here for the Adelaide Crows AFL matchup, good luck, go the Crows, we fly as one. And Matt CD turns to Tim and goes, "You hear that? I'm an athlete, dude." And was screaming at LAN the whole time. So
he just ran through the office going, "I'm an athlete!"
yeah, walking out after a game, he's like, "I'm an athlete, dude." It was beautiful. So yeah, look, I'm with you on that. Matt CD getting swole as heck and rocking up to LAN. I'm an athlete, dude. Like, I'm all for that.
I also want to see the social media. Like, I want to see them do some wicked social media with that.
Yeah, me too.
Because he is like probably one of the best personalities
in
OCE esports.
Oh, absolutely. Because he oozes personality.
CGPL sort of like dropped 2 fun levels because he wasn't there.
Yeah, man, drop 2 troll levels. I mean, there's nothing quite like sitting at a casting desk and nobody else can hear it on stream, but as a caster, you can hear Matt CD yelling the craziest stuff. Or like,
we got to get that microphone up.
Absolutely. There was one round where Matt CD was getting like kill after kill after kill, and all he would do is laugh really obnoxiously after each frag, like just a real loud single like ha, and it was beautiful.
That's not to say the banter dropped in the last CGPL. They were going hard at each other in a fun way. So
They
it
were.
was actually really good.
Good Lord.
But you know, Legacy, good branding, good fun, and with the Adelaide Football Club behind them, they've got a great back end. So you know, let us know your thoughts on it. Let's see if Twitch has had anything to say now. Cyber Waste is saying here that he's a certified cyber athlete. So Cyber Waste is a cyber athlete. That's a new one for mainstream media.
They're the ones that get tested for.
Yeah, e-cyber athlete, e-cyber gaming professional.
Constantly getting tested for Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
So-
and they're a premier esports e-gaming athlete is probably the way to phrase it to keep up with esports terminology. But look, again, another move forward for esports in the region. We've talked about this before, saying that physical locations are the next steps. Talking about, you know, player homes or player houses versus player offices as well, looking to move in those directions.
Right, did that a little bit with Sydney.
They did. Well, they've got player homes, and then they go to the studio to compete, but there's no player offices.
Yeah, no, I mean, a
Team
little bit. I
offices.
said, like,
Yeah,
they did a little bit. They
We got
kind of-
team houses for OPL.
Yeah.
But again, baby steps. You know, we can't expect the world here in Australia and New Zealand. It'll move. And when we've got big names like the Adelaide Football Club moving in that have that sports background, some of that translates across.
I was going to say, the best thing about Legacy is their rhetoric. It is so high performance, high octane, like they use the buzzwords.
I
to
swear
the
that's Nigel.
extreme.
I swear that's
Yeah.
Nigel's
And-
influence.
no, but the thing is, they don't use groundbreaking or paving the way in esports.
No.
Which is
No.
like the worst.
That's
thing.
a real
Just don't-
council thing
don't
today.
do that.
That's a council thing.
thing?
It is.
Paving the
Paving
way
the
to
way.
We're paving the way for your lifestyle in retirement.
We're still paving South Road from 1984.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like-
no, I agree.
No, they use like buzzwords up the wazoo, but they don't use the worst ones.
They don't
Like,
use Wazoo, that's for sure.
Yeah, they should. They could.
They should.
High
You hear,
performance
you hear
up-
that, Michael Carmody? We want to hear Wazoo in Legacy's next tweet. Just fit it in there somewhere.
Please.
Plus, how
just-
high performance they are. They can win a game with MJ Carmody going in and playing an ESCA match.
Yes,
and
they
won, was
can.
it 16-8, 16-9? He got himself 2 frags, eh?
He did. He was an invaluable part of the team, and we cannot discount Michael on
No,
that.
well, we saw 4 versus 5. It's actually a very different game to having 4 with like one not as polished player.
That's right. And like you
he's-
said, he was an invaluable source of information. He was running in there on T
Yeah,
side.
he was the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, run in there, MJ. Try and shoot at things, and if just try and get a lot of information. Tell us where they are. That way we can follow up and shoot everybody.
That's how
And
performance. How
It's
high
also known as the
performance
T-ball
they are.
tactic.
that
if
they
you're
are
playing
so
at home.
high performance
Yeah.
that the manager can come in and play, and they can still win games. That's next level performance
Exactly.
right there.
Exactly.
We love Legacy, and as much as this is banter, they are a great organisation as well as the Adelaide Football Club, and wish them all the best. And it'll be interesting to see how this esports centre develops.
Maybe
over
we could
time.
go down there and see it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Can we have a little look?
Hey Nigel, my friend. That'd be great, and we'll keep you guys updated as well as we learn more about what they're doing with that centre. Hopefully, it's good things, and maybe they can get me into shape for high performance esports.
That's no.
That'll take a
that's-
bit too much.
No.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
We'd need what we'd like to call chemical enhancement for you, Judge.
Oh, right, cool.
Illegal things from Mexico.
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 Yeah, but
Just
he's got
send me
that
to
much
Mexico.
testosterone that we probably need estrogen just to bring him down to normal.
That's right. You need to bring me down to a wow, that voice cracked. Let's not go there.
I am an alpha male.
That was the best time ever.
I'm an esports athlete.
An alpha male at best.
Tibor, moving on from, related to your talk about wanting Wazoo in a tweet, thanks Badger, with
You're welcome.
Legacy, talking about social media trends. And
Yeah.
this is one that'll get Margin Dabura from Corva Days, Jimmy's rustled, in his tweets that come out in the last week. And we've got a picture of these images that we'll bring up for you as well. There it is. New Year, New Me coming soon. Of course, Tibor has New Year, New Tibor coming up.
I was bored yesterday, and I kept seeing it, and I was fed up. So
Yeah, so thank you for that. I can't wait to see what the new Tibor is. Are you actually going to look like what you're a normal height when you sit next to me next year? Is that the plan?
We're going to make you a special chair, Judge. I promise.
yeah,
We're going to make a chair that sits me 3 inches lower. Okay,
pretty
cool.
much. I don't know. Well, it is T-ball time. It could happen anytime.
Oh, God.
But the whole point here
The whole
is-
point here is
What
So-
is that?
this is
It's like-
so obviously there's an announcement pending. That's what we've got from this, and the reason we talk about this in terms of marketing, why Dabura's Jimmy's are going to get rustled, is because there's always talk about graphic designers in esports
Copying homework and whatnot.
Yeah, copying my homework, just change
Just
a little
change-
bit, you know,
gonna-
that recurring meme.
They're all the same.
except Outlaws.
No,
The
no,
Outlaws
they're
one's
all, they're, all-
different.
they
No,
they all look like
Outlaws
they're.
are just flipped with slightly less text.
And they've got an image background as well, so we'll credit them that. And they've got a different font. So
New
the
year,
Outlaws
new
one
me.
is
My name's
substantially
Becky.
different. My name's Becky.
They're now all basic white girls who go to the gym in January and then leave in February and have pumpkin spice lattes. What the hell is that?
Pumpkin spice lattes.
That's,
So-
what is that?
But, okay, yes, they were all the same.
Hashtag New Year, New Me. Brad's a prick. What was that?
Tibor, your thing here. You were talking to me earlier about this in the where's the originality, right? Take me down that path.
So, okay.
Why?
Most of those don't look too. So the picture from maybe they're their current jerseys. I don't know if. Like, I think the Atletico one might have been the same jersey, but if it's not, it's going to be pretty similar to the last one. And if it's going to be, so it looks to be an apparel sponsor.
Yes.
That's what it looks to be. Now, like the rumor is on Twitter, Shadowfax, who is a reliable source here.
Yeah, she's pretty reliable in esports.
Yeah, and has a team, so may have got same sort of emails. Believes it to be AMG.
Which, is, for those of you that aren't aware, it's the Australian Esports Management Group. They have Peanut Gallery TV, Athletico Esports, and WPGI, which is the women playing game internationally.
Yeah, and they've got a few others like Ground Zero.
Ground Zero Gaming's partnered with them and helps them
Yeah,
with
so
their
they've got
finals
quite
and
a lot of
stuff.
affiliates.
They do.
So this could be a new one or a new branch or something like that.
If the rumours are to be confirmed.
That's what it appears to be at this stage.
That's right.
To be honest, it looks like you buy it from Rebel Sport. And to be honest, it's like something you buy at a bargain bin for like $30.
Looking at these branding, like this branding, I look at this because we had a bit of discussion before the show, and we're like, it's pretty unoriginal. And I understand why. I understand why each of those looks the same, and it's because they want you to know it's all from the same place.
And it's creating hype.
That's right, and it's a lot of discussion.
And it has worked. Discussion has been had.
That's right, we're having it now. So I get that, I understand that.
Yeah.
And yes, there's tweaks because it's their jersey and their logo that they've been posting. If they all came out and literally had the exact same graphic with no personalization per
Three of
club.
those were exactly the same.
No, but I mean not even having the different jerseys and different logos. Like if it was
Okay.
literally just
Yeah.
an announcement,
If they
like
just
or
all posted the
pre-announcement
same
piece,
photo.
yeah, then
Yeah.
then I'd be roasting them and going like, okay, yeah, we get it, something's happening, all of you are involved. Like there's better ways to market that. I think this is absolutely a step up. I'm on the same trend as you that they could have been more different. The Outlaws one I actually quite liked compared to the others.
Yeah,
They're all very clean graphics individually.
well clean because there's not much there.
But as a group,
Yeah, so it's a plain white
it's like,
sheet, yeah.
okay, it's the same stuff. I follow that, and the graphic works good, but for my taste, and I assume for yours as well, Lewis, it would have been nice to have some originality throughout.
I'm
all
amazed
of
by
them.
Tridents. There's so much room for advertisers and sponsors on there.
Yeah.
It's great. Good job, guys.
Well, Atletico did
Fantastic.
get their row cut in there.
Yeah,
They did.
On
They did.
theirs, on the cheeky little
Oh,
sleeve
and a
there.
cheeky little,
Yeah.
get
But,
a little bit of side sleeve action.
yeah, it's just-
raunchy.
I'm just scared that it's going to turn out to be like another BLK where, I mean, I'm surprised so many jumped on the BLK bandwagon after they burnt so many actual sporting teams, such as the Crows, like for mega dollars here. We're not
Yeah.
talking about $50, like we're talking about in the hundreds of thousands. And still, BLK, I think it was Goldie that brought this up as well.
Right.
One of the OC casters,
Younger
part of
caster,
AGTV, young
yeah.
caster. He buys a lot of jerseys out there, and he was at a stand at one event, and it was just all like BLK jerseys, and he was just like, he wanted to buy like heaps, and he just they're all the same,
Yeah.
uninspired, unoriginal,
Yeah.
and like obviously the same graphic designer because he's used the same kind of template, but like you just want to see something a little different. I mean, like take FaZe and SK for example, right? Their jerseys are sort of in a similar style, but very different. Like you're not going to go, they look exactly the same. Like you could still happily have a FaZe and an SK jersey, and then even an
Yeah.
Australis one. Like they all kind of take off a soccer feel, which is, and they're very nice, very clean, but they have their own vibe, originality. Like they're beautiful jerseys on their own right. So hopefully they come along there and not use the same kind of template.
My thing as well, looking at these and talking about the BLK stuff, regardless of your thoughts about BLK as an organisation, and perhaps a topic for another time as we move away from this, but I don't like the fact that BLK's there on the
No,
jersey.
no.
I don't like that Meta Threads is on the side of the collar here, running up the side of it. Because at the end of the day, I know for a fact these teams are purchasing their jerseys.
Yeah.
And they're purchasing for a lot of these brands.
Yeah,
the
for
teams
esports
are,
teams.
For esports
For
teams,
esports teams,
a lot of
yes.
these brands, a lot of these clubs are buying their jerseys at full retail
Yeah.
to dress their players. Now, if BLK or Meta were giving discounts for the clubs to actually
Yep.
have this merch, then I'd understand
It'd
it.
have to be a big
Yes.
discount, like 100%.
Yes, because you get sponsorship. That's why you get your name on their jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
But
not a
if-
huge sponsorship.
No.
That's not
No.
actually that huge. Just
But if
producing the
you
jersey.
are just the guy that they buy their jersey through, in my opinion, I'm sorry, you don't deserve to have your brand on the jersey just because you're the distributor, you're the manufacturer and distributor.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then you also, but then you go into like I like the Chiefs jersey. It's nice and clean, but it's a walking billboard. Like it's just a
Yeah.
pinboard
It is.
of.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, different advertisers. So I don't like that either. But I mean, you've got to get your name out there. You've got to make money, and
Yeah.
especially in esports. Like, so I don't mind it too much, but I'd like it if it was just a bit cleaner, like maybe a title sponsor and then a few other ones.
Yeah, little bits and pieces along it.
Cyberwaste in the chat is saying there was a lot of discussion around this for Overwatch League 2. They're all uniform aside from the colours. I don't mind it being subtle for those brands, like if it's on the collar for the BLK and Metathread stuff. I strongly disagree because they're not paying anything to have their brand on someone else's jersey that's being bought, and that's my opinion. But I agree on the Overwatch League thing. A similar train of thought that they're pretty much the exact same jersey, rehashed with a little bit of a design flair per one and different colours. So, but that's another discussion for another time in terms of merchandising that I think we might talk about next week.
I want to bring it back to the main issue I had with that advertisement was that it was like New Year, New Me. But all of them said that. So it was an unoriginal way, like it was an original way for everyone to be original. It was like, how can I be like the emo kid who's like disestablishmentarianism and just go, so you have to do everything that I do.
Yeah. Nolsky said in the chat, T-Ball's next Twitter handle update is going to be existentialist T-Ball instead of T-Ball time, so I think we'll leave that topic
I could actually
there.
do that, because I do have the philosophy degree
You
there.
do, and I would hate it. But we're coming to the end of episode 6, and it is time for the world's favourite award.
It is. Here it is. Here it's everyone's favourite e-gaming award. This one comes back. We missed 2 weeks.
We did.
So this actually comes from about 2 weeks ago, back at TwitchCon.
Yes.
And we've got a little clip here of the H1 Z1, the final, when they were giving out the trophies here.
He's a monster.
Okay.
Monster, man. Congrats.
So for those of you that aren't
Here
aware,
you
this
go.
is
You get the microphone.
a player that
Just
He came
did not
third.
win.
the
He
host
came
now.
third.
What's up, guys?
And this is the
No, I'm
interview.
just kidding. Here, you can have the trophy. $50,000, man. How does it feel? You can't talk because you're not first. Sorry. Thank you so much, man. I'm just kidding. Enjoy your day, bro.
Okay.
Thought I was gonna let him
And
talk. Was it
that's
amateur night?
A
No,
wrap
because
for
right
that
now
interview.
I get to crown.
And now we get out. This is actually Hiko, a previous top. Oh, yeah, okay, we're not going to go the full way.
No.
We did the Hiko, a previous top. What was he? Team Liquid.
I believe so.
Top CS:GO player. Anyway, he did that over 3 days.
Oh God.
As the presenter, it's so cringe. I almost don't like playing it or watching it, but it's so bad that he gets the e-gaming award.
Wow.
Don Fubar. Apparently, he came back and said that apparently it was plans. They let the people know that was going to happen.
So that was some context I researched before the show.
Yeah.
Now, according to Don, he was approached by the organisers, producers for the H1Z1 Invitational, and was told, don't worry about talking to second and third place. Give them their trophy, say, congratulations, thank you very much, walk off, and have an interview with first place. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to
makes
interview
sense,
second
yeah.
and third. Interview
Makes
the winner.
sense.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then he says that H1Z1 approached him and said, do that, right? This was his way of doing that. And it was supposed to be banter and fun. And Twitter roasted him over it, and the internet roasted him over it.
It was horrible.
It
That's
was
just- yeah.
absolutely atrocious behaviour. Now, Don also didn't help that.
No, he came out defending it.
He did. He said that this was organised with the organisers, like you said.
And they went and told that the people that were coming up on stage that was going to happen, and it was for a bit of fun, but it was just horrible in every sense of the word. Like, it's the worst form of American humour possible. And it's
It's like watching Seinfeld on reruns.
oh, come on!
20 years later.
Get out.
Seriously.
Controversial Seinfeld opinions aside, I will, to Don's credit, say, okay, he did apologise. He copped it on the chin later. He did. No, he did.
Okay.
Fully apologised, said, you know what, I deserve all the hate I'm copping. It wasn't good enough.
No.
But that was after putting out tweets such as, I've been doing this for 15 years, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You clearly
That
don't.
is why you earned the e-gaming award this
Yeah.
week.
It was just horrible, hands down. Even if in hindsight it was bad when it happened. It was bad after it. It was bad during. It just
What do we
no.
expect? The man's wearing a tuxedo shirt.
Yeah,
Do
that's
we
a good point.
expect greatness?
From a
No.
tuxedo.
That actually, you get another e-gaming award.
Tuxedo shirt. I'm going to a formal event. I'll wear my best tux shirt. Mum, break it out.
Mum, get the iron out for my tux shirt. Did you wash it with the softs?
please tell me you use colour safe bleach this time.
Wow.
What What a stall.
I mean, chat saying here as well. Cyberwaste again. I love Cyberwaste coming out in chat.
Easy,
Thank you so
pretty
much for regularly being here, man, and having some discussion with us. We
Take
appreciate
that,
it.
everyone else in chat.
He's asking if he's been blacklisted. No, he hasn't. He's, for all intensive purposes, it's all good. It makes H1 look like a joke and may not even be viewed as seriously anymore.
Yeah.
It was
No,
I actually
agree.
watched that live. But now I don't play H1, Z1s. I don't play a lot of esports, but I do watch them. I don't play baseball, but I watch it.
Those who can't do watch.
You're allowed to, and then
Yeah.
if you can't, you commentate, etc. Blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Good analogy. Good
Good
saying
T-ball.
there.
yeah, Nav's
Good
also
table.
playing before. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're welcome.
You watched
You're
it.
welcome.
I watched it, and it was brilliant. Like there was so much hype going into the end. Hiko was there, and they're like, oh, he's a former professional CS:GO player. Is he going to actually win this? And he did win it in second, got himself to second. And I was like, wow, this is awesome, and there was so much hype around it, and I actually enjoyed watching it. Even Courtney enjoyed watching it. She was like, actually, this is pretty good.
Courtney's Lewis's wife, just so you know.
Mrs. T-ball time.
God.
Yeah.
Any.
And then we saw that, and we were like, no.
Yeah.
It just killed the buzz of the whole event. And then I was like, I'm not watching day 3. It just actually killed my enjoyment of the event.
Yep.
Absolutely, and I agree. Looking at this as well, Nolsky said no respect for that dude. He apologised, but after he had a win.
Well
lol.
after.
No.
Nightfall says knows what he's doing. Lol. Cyberway said yep, full blown bogan for being in a tuxedo shirt. Sandman actually coming in, which is wow. Ben Green's in here. Just like the other time, someone wore a tuxedo shirt in an esports event here in Australia.
He could actually
Oh
get some...
damn!
Who did that?
That was PK going back a little while. We're gonna leave that there, Ben. Be nice.
That again, Sandman though, he is the best roaster in OCE.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He needs a montage, mate. I think I said before he had a montage of basically one CS:GO event.
Yeah.
But hats off to that.
Sandman highlights for the next CSGO event that he hosts.
Yeah.
But that is it for us this week. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the chat interaction. It's a little bit janky at the moment. We're trying to improve things as we go over time.
A little bit? By a little bit?
Oh, yeah, by a little bit.
By a little bit.
There's your little bit. You happy now? But again, thank you for joining us. Make sure you head over to all our socials. We are on Facebook. We post a little less frequently there because we're useless at social media, but we're trying to work on it a little
learning.
bit. As well as our Twitter, make sure you follow that for updates and to know when we're going live. We are going to have some PAX content coming out. We did spend some time there. We're sorry it's taken so long.
Some of us did. Some of us did. Some of us did.
No, one.
Yes. Yeah.
And a producer and
Yeah.
overrated
And the
photographer.
cameraman.
Everyone but us.
We do have, we will be putting something up on Twitter about that later on. We're probably not going to have that ingrained content in the show because it's just been too long. But we'll give you a bit of a recap on PAX in the near future. And yeah, as always, thank you to Lewis T-Ball Gratz and Terry Badger O'Neill for being here with me. My name's Matthew Judge Brand, and we'll see you next week.